Please be advised that this video is for the sole purpose of entertainment. Any views are purely my own, are subjective and may not necessarily be true. I do, however, do extensive research for all of my videos. All photos have been found on the public domain. I am using them under the fair use and fair dealing guidelines. I urge everybody to do their own research. Well, hello, it's Murky Meg here. It's Wednesday the 27th of November. News has hit that Meghan Markle's uncle, Mike Markle, has spoken out to the press. Now, he's an ex-diplomat. He has branded Meghan a prima donna and claims that she has a chip on her shoulder, which he said could be part of her problem that she has with Kate. Her uncle Mike was the one that helped her get that internship as a junior press officer in the American embassy in Argentina when she was 20. Incidentally, he wasn't at the wedding. As we all know, it was only Doria. Now, he has said that Meghan has climbed socially and left us behind. I think that's what happens when you're underclass and trying to raise above your reality of your situation. Speaking to Woman's Magazine from his home in Florida, Mike shed some light on the alleged rivalry between Prince Harry's wife and the Duchess of Cambridge. Now, I don't know how he can actually ascertain whether or not there is a rivalry. We all know that there probably is. And it seems like he hasn't actually seen Meghan in a long time. So, as always, you have to take what he says with a grain of salt because he hasn't seen her for such a long time. But he does make some valid points, and he clearly knows her well. He continues that coming from her background, she may have a chip on her shoulder. It could be that's part of the problem she's having with her sister-in-law. Meghan is immature in some ways. I feel that because of the way she acts, not only towards family members, but towards other people. It could be that she's bossy towards staff because she's been spoiled by my brother, Thomas Markle. He doted on her a lot, more than he did the other children. Tom spent more time with her and helped her in school and stuff like that. Tom has more of a rapport with her than the rest of the children. That's a problem. She's a prima donna because he's treated her really well. He also talks about their wedding that they weren't invited to and the fact that she didn't invite a lot of people, and he didn't feel that he'd been discriminated against personally because she didn't invite anybody but Doria. He said it would have been nice for her to have some of her family, but I don't understand her. I don't communicate with her because I understand they don't accept mail at the palace. What? They don't accept mail at the palace? I think they do. He also says, I don't know what I'd say to her if I could write to her. It's up to her to make the first move as far as I'm concerned. That personally doesn't make any sense to me because of this whole letter to and from Thomas Markle. It's kind of going against if he says we can't send letters to her. Well, surely you can. Or can they not? Have they been told not to communicate with her? Interesting. Sorry, Uncle Mike, but if you're going to be waiting for her to make the first move, then you'll be waiting forever because it's clear she ain't going to do it. This just highlights the fact that there is a huge rift in the family, and I find it quite unbelievable that Harry has never met Thomas Markle. Both her uncle and her father have made it clear that despite the hurt that they feel, they would still welcome her with open arms if she ever wanted to return into the fold. It's also very clear that she feels she is too good for her family, except Doria when she needs her. And I think this is all hers and ultimately Harry's fault because they should have looked after her family and made sure that they understood not to talk to the press. None of this would have happened if they had done the right thing by her family. Of all people, Harry would have known what the press were capable of doing, and he let it happen. A mature, sensible person who doesn't worship money would say, this is my family, warts and all. Take me or leave me. They raised her, they provided for her, and helped her land the jobs that enabled her to get where she was. And she's treated her family completely horribly. Had she been gracious towards one and all, things would have actually reflected better on her. But because of this whole her against her family, it just looks so bad that she is just cut them off completely. It's a classic narcissist move. And to be completely honest, if Harry and Meghan didn't want her family to speak out or defend themselves, then he shouldn't have made the comment of the family that she never had, which in my opinion was offensive to her family. Can you imagine if somebody said that about your family? You'd be distraught, wouldn't you? Yet for someone who supposedly has never had a family before she joined the royal family, she appears to have a lot of relatives that are speaking out about her. I wonder how Harry actually feels about all of this. Is he still tangled up with her tales of a lost little girl all alone to see the truth? And now we have this so-called 6 weeks break, and we're still being bombarded by those contractual puff pieces that they have said that Sunshine Sacks must put out. Here's a few examples over the last couple of days, what I actually think are put out via Sunshine Sacks to the media. First of all, we have baby Archie is now eating solid food. Whoop-de-doo. Because babies don't do that, do they, at 6 months old? No, they just suddenly start eating fillet steak. They go from milk to steak. They don't need weaning at all, do they? Harry and Meghan just don't get it, do they? They insulted us by saying, no, you can't see him. You only get to see him when we need publicity. But oh, by the way, we're weaning him. Isn't it fantastic? No, it's not. Stop it now. I'm sorry, it didn't actually come from them. It came from that Omid, whatever his name, Scooby-Doo. It's Meghan Markle's mouthpiece, isn't it? You know, it really does make me laugh that he acts as if he is besties with Meghan, and the only connection that he has with her is through Marcus Anderson. Where is he nowadays? He seems to have disappeared. Another example is this whole plant a tree thing. Do you know what? It's completely gone straight over my head. I've got no interest in it whatsoever. But the fact is that Harry and Meghan are taking it on as if it was their idea. It's not. I mean, I think it's a worthy cause, but in the grand scheme of things, planting whatever many trees is not going to help Harry and Meghan pacify us into not picking apart their air travel and their carbon footprint. You can't just wipe it out like that. Trees take time to grow. Your carbon footprint is your own. You have to live with it on your conscience, on however much you produce. You can't just offset it. It doesn't work like that. So what this is trying to show is that they're trying to help them lead the best life that they can do. No, again, hello Sunshine Sacks. It isn't working. I may have got this whole tree campaign wrong, but you know what? I really don't care. Another example is that Meghan Markle is aware she's being pitted against the future Queen Kate and finds the situation challenging, a source tells People magazine. Well, of course she's going to find it challenging because she's not Kate. Kate will be the future Queen consort. There is no contest. But once again, Meghan has sanctioned one of her so-called friends to again spew to the People magazine. When will she learn that she demands privacy, yet she's speaking, or her friends, or she's allowing her friends to speak to these magazines? You can't have it both ways. Either shut up or sing. If Meghan thinks she's being pitted against Catherine, then I think she's actually misunderstood the situation and the institution of the monarchy that she so desperately wanted to get into. If it were an acting world, Catherine and William are the main acts, whilst the minor royals are the Sussexes. They are the ones with supporting roles. Perhaps it's the realisation that her role will never be greater than a supporting actor role in the establishment that her ambitions were so hungry to get into. It really doesn't take a genius to actually realise that her brother-in-law, her sister-in-law and their children are far more important within the royal family than she will ever be. But on the flip side, there have been two very important stories from various places that have caught my attention that clearly don't come from Sunshine Sacks. Number one is the fact that people actually think that Meghan will upstage Beatrice on her wedding day by announcing a pregnancy. She did it at her sister's, so, odds on, she might do it again. We know what she's capable of. But it makes me really cross that some people are actually celebrating this. Who would want somebody to upstage somebody's wedding day? That's just downright cruel, to be perfectly honest. And the second one is the fact that with all that's going on with Andrew, now people are actually asking whether or not they are good value for money. Is it worth slimming down the royal family? And will that include Harry and Meghan? Some are actually saying because the Queen has supposedly sacked Prince Andrew from his royal duties, this is sending a clear message to both Harry and Meghan to buck up and behave. As always, let me know what you think of the things that I have raised in this video. What do you think of Mike Markle speaking out against Meghan? Do you think he has a right to say what he said, or do you think he should remain quiet? And what do you think of all the puff pieces that are seemingly coming from Sunshine Sacks? Do you think they should be putting these out, or do you just think we are oversaturated with it all? As always, let me know what you think. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, hit subscribe and hit that notification bell. I'd like to thank everyone who has donated to my channel. It's because of your kind generosity which enables me to release worthy and interesting contents. So I say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you very soon.